fighters, considered great fighters. You want to be the best, fight the best.
What's going on? This is the Boxing Roundtable. I'm your man Jose, aka the DR Dream, alongside
the Maniac.
and we are ready to talk boxing. That
Yes.
we're about to talk that Errol Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford post fight. We did the immediate reaction to the post fight, and that's on our IG, the Boxing Roundtable. So just like that, at the Boxing Roundtable all together. I'm gonna put it up on the graphic so you guys can see it, just in case you are not able to see it on YouTube, because we did do a live on YouTube, but for some reason there's some issues with it. Um, I'll start off by saying what I saw in the fight. I usually start off. Congratulations to Terrence Bud Crawford for doing what he had to do, coming in prepared, coming in strong, and just doing what he had to do. Unfortunately, I think we were robbed of having a true contest, being that we all knew this was or people, I personally thought that it wasn't a 50-50 fight. I thought Errol Spence thought it was more 60-40. Everyone thought it was at maybe 60-40, 50, 60-40 at most disadvantage. Everyone thought it was a 50-50 fight.
Correct.
But the reason it wasn't a 50-50 fight, in my opinion, is because Terrence Bud Crawford didn't fight Errol Spence. He fought a shell of Errol Spence. And I'm not taking, unfortunately, that takes away credit from Terrence Crawford, but not in a way where I'm doing it purposely or anything like that. You got fighters like Andre Berto, uh, uh, Deontay Wilder, and so forth. That we know what we saw, because when you analyze boxing, you do three things, and my co-host disagrees with me with the situation, but you do three things. You analyze the sport, you predict the sport, you predict a fight, right? And then you analyze the fight itself, the performance from both fighters, and then you say what's next for both. So what I saw in the ring, my prediction is my prediction, but what I saw in the ring was a completely depleted Errol Spence, and I had text you, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
before the fight began, and I said,
Yeah.
"Yo, I don't like the way he's looking."
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you say yeah, you did.
I said, I'm not. I said that's my only. I'm not concerned about anything else, but that's my only concern. I don't like the way he looking. And when I saw him shadow boxing, and at the weigh-in, he definitely looked sucked in. But when I saw him again last night, I thought he would, maybe bulk up and rehydrate, but he still looked sucked in. He still looked, and I said, man. But you know what? I went with the dog that Errol is, and I said, you know what? Errol's been here before, and he's looked perhaps drained, maybe not this drained. And fight night, he comes in, he does what he had to do. But last night he couldn't do it. He didn't have punch resistance. He had no legs, and he had no power. So those are all signs of an unhealthy fighter, a drained fighter. And when you fight another very good fighter like Terrence Bud Crawford, had this been vice versa, it would have been the same outcome, a complete beatdown. I think it would have been worse if Terrence Bud Crawford was the one that came in uh, unhealthy against a guy like Errol Spence, who punishes you. And he definitely punished Spence. I think that there were two punishments shown last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was the punishment that he put on himself, making his weight for all these years, and the punishment that got bestowed upon him by a tremendous fighter like Bud Crawford.
Yep.
So, two questions for me. I'm gonna question not only whether Spencer's done at 147, absolutely.
Yeah.
But my next question is, given the circumstances that Spence went into the ring and then you can do your breakdown from here. Do you think that forget about fighting Terrence Crawford again? We're going to talk about that, of course, because they have an imminent rematch. But do you think that this does damage to his? Will Spence be the same again? I have to question that being. Remember, we're talking about first what happened last night with him being drained, car accident, detached retina, and on top of all that, the ass whooping that he got from Terrence Crawford as a consequence of his condition last night. Does that add up to a, you know what, that's it? You took too much punishment. You put your body through too much.
All right. What I would say is that as far as all right, so you said car accident, you said attached retina, and
Being drained last
being drained, right?
and getting beat by an elite top fighter
So,
under those
yeah.
under
So look, this is what it is. The accident could have somewhat played a part, but you know what? I'm not gonna put that into play. You know why?
I'm talking about not for last night. Nah, that accident is out the door for last night. Last night
Yeah.
was the weight issue because he beat shit out of Ugas.
So no. Look, I would
Garcia.
just say this.
I'm talking about after what happened to him. But do your breakdown and then you can answer.
Yeah. So look,
that.
Yeah.
But we definitely got to talk about what do you think is going to happen with him in the future. But let us know what you saw last night.
So what I saw yesterday, again, I know I'm sounding like a broken record. I am a Spence fan. I've mentioned that. I've always been. And all my videos that I do, I mention it. But I don't pick with my heart no more. I used to do that. I pick from what I see. And what I saw that Crawford was a slightly better fighter, right? But yesterday he showed different. He showed that he's the superior fighter. Now, as far as the weight goes, right? Because now this is the big thing, right? This is the thing that's circulating. I would say this. Yeah, the drainage did him damage. But guess what, guys? It's not Crawford's fault. And two, that's Spence's fault. Because he's been fighting at welterweight his whole career. He knows he was making trouble making that weight. So guess what? It came to haunt him. I'm not gonna bendito Spence. Crawford went in there, took care of business. That's Spence. If you know you couldn't make the weight, man, stop playing with certain sharks. He was playing with certain sharks and was able to get out the water. With this shark, he wasn't able to do that. And Crawford made him pay for it. He made him pay. It's not, oh my God. He didn't beat Spence. He annihilated him. He broke that dude. His mental and physical, I don't know where it's at, man.
His mental definitely ain't broken because he even towards the end he kept coming, but his physical and his confidence going forward.
Yeah, but what's exactly, that's what I mean. The mental for moving forward. Spence is a dog, bro.
Yeah,
like he went in there. Yeah. Yo, listen. Again, Spence is a future Hall of Famer. He's a unified champion at 147. He will continue to cook dudes, I feel. Right? But when it comes to Crawford, I do believe it's a fight he should stay away, even if at 154. Even if at 154. But knowing Spence and the dog he is, he's not. Not only that, him personally as a fighter and the dog he is the bag. He not gonna make another bag like that with another fighter unless he fight a Charlo, unless he go up and fight a Canelo, which we know we never know. Because again, for years I've been saying Spence is a big dude at 147. And bro,
yeah, you have.
It just look,
that is true.
Spence, man, what he did yesterday, regardless, right? Regardless, because I gotta give him credit, bro. I got nothing but love for Spence. Crawford is he's just different. If they fight at 154, do we see the same outcome? Possibly, but I think it'll be more competitive. He'll probably have his legs under him more, but I just think Crawford is the better fighter. That's just what I saw. That's just what I saw. I can't discredit Crawford, why he did was a great performance. And not only that, guys, this makes him undisputed in back-to-back weight divisions. 4-belt era. He made history, bro. You gotta salute him, man. You have to salute him for that, man. That's an amazing accomplishment. Amazing accomplishment. Where does Spence go from here, moving forward? That's gonna be the $1 million question. He has 30 days to exercise the rematch. 30 days. So he got a month. He got some time to think about it, speak with it with his team and his family, and decide what's going to be best for him.
And remember, as far as the rematch, to insert that in, 30 days, you know Spence wants the rematch. We know that. But again, remember that it was in contract that the winner would choose the weight
Yeah.
of the rematch. So that being said, if Terrence says, you know, I'm gonna defend my titles again at 147. I want the rematch at 147. Errol Spence, you gotta let that shit go, daddy.
Agree. It'll be stupid. It'll be suicide.
It'll be stupid as far as his own health is concerned. Not even fighting Crawford, just getting down to the weight again. Leave that shit alone. We know what's been going on in boxing in recent years or in the last 10, 15 years, a lot of catch weights.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. And even then, I would suggest that Errol doesn't take it. I would suggest 154 or leave it alone. And if you can't get Terrence, that's it. It's all right. You know, we know that you've been a great fighter.
Yeah.
You're a great fighter.
Yeah.
You fought great fights, and
Yeah.
it's boxing. Shit happens. Like Sean said, you know, he's only and not even Sean. He said it himself. I don't think I sent you that video, but he said, "Listen, man, they asked him, was it hard? Because he didn't want to say nothing. Was it hard to make the weight? He said, yeah, it was hard, but look, you know, at the end of the day, I got no excuses. I agreed to the weight. I signed a contract, and that's the way that I fought at. So that's on me."
Yeah, he's been saying it. Look, he said it. He said, listen, man, I saw an interview where before the fight, you know, leading up to the fight, he was just like, yeah, man, this might be my last fight at 147 unless he wins and then Crawford exercises the rematch and then he has to defend him at 147. But to me, I think if Spence wants the rematch, which is whatever, I'm going to watch.
He said he wants that shit before the year's over.
I think, yeah, he said like December. I would say fight at 154. I'm pretty sure the sanctioning bodies ain't going to strip Crawford of his belts at 147. They'll allow him to take a fight at 154, and then he'll come back to 147 to defend his titles.
Of course, but, you know, again, that what Spence said last night about asking, was it hard to make the weight? He said, yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, I agreed to the weight. I knew what weight I was fighting. I signed the contract, so it is what it is. He was a better man tonight. And shout out to Errol Spence for having that mentality of a warrior in and outside of the ring.
Absolutely.
He makes no excuses, and his team makes no excuses.
It just makes a fighter look better when they don't make excuses.
But me as a boxing fan, knowing what I saw in the ring and knowing that breaking the fight down, that's what we do.
Yeah.
When I text you before the fight about this shit, I said, I don't like the way he looked. And I was picking Spence by destruction.
Yeah.
I said Errol going to destroy him.
Yeah.
Because he's the better, bigger, stronger, more determined Terminator type fighter. That's what I said. When he got knocked down in the second round, I looked at my man that was here, my man Hoover, was watching. I said, perdimos, we lost. Spence's drained. When I saw that, remember, this was a jab. And as strong as Crawford may be,
a hard jab.
As strong as Crawford may be, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Porter, and other guys that could punch hard. Danny hit that nigga with a mean left hook, and they was like, it's a glancing shot. Nah, that shit wasn't glancing. That shit caught him. Errol Spence is not the kind of fighter that's gonna go down with a jab. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's Tyson Fury throwing a jab. He's just not. And he the way he got up to it, because it could have been like, nah, he was off balance. Nah, that wasn't off balance shot. He didn't have his legs up. Nah. Paul Malignaggi said that what was it? I'm not sure if it was Paul. Someone said that his back leg was up when he got hit. It don't matter. That was a jab, family. And I understand if he does that to a lesser fighter, but when he got up with the spaghetti legs after that right jab, even if Terence Crawford's dominant hand is right, because he's not an actual lefty. I don't know if he is. I don't think he is. If that De La Hoya fought with his dominant hand in the front was a left, he's actually lefty, but he fought as a right-hander. Miguel Cotto is a lefty, but fought as a right-hander. And I don't think we never seen De La Hoya knock no one down with no jab, even when he was fighting much less opposition. So I think when I saw that, I turned around and I said, I think it's over. But I don't think Errol has his legs under him. I think tonight was the night that shit caught up to him. But listen, Terence Crawford fought Sean Porter, and he came out and showed that. Even he was behind, but he came out and showed that dog. And at the end, he gave Porter that work. And I was criticizing Kenny for stopping the fight, but maybe it didn't even matter.
It didn't.
You know,
It didn't matter, man.
Crawford's a dog.
Yeah,
Crawford's a dog.
definitely. And you know why? I want to say this too, man, because this is something that goes under the radar. And Crawford mentioned it in the post-fight interview. Bro, he's been blackballed in this sport. He's on the sideline. Oh, who he's gonna fight? His resume's been critiqued at 147, deservedly so. But it's not like people were jumping to want to fight him neither. So
I think it was more of a promotion, the other side of the street thing.
So now that this fight is done and he's undisputed at 2 weight divisions, let's just leave 140 alone. He's undisputed at 147. That's it, bro. There's no denying, there's no hiding. There's only 2 reasonable fights at 147 for Crawford. That's either Keith Thurman or Boots Ennis. And I wouldn't favor neither one against Crawford. But they could give him a good fight. Keith, he's another big fighter. He's a fighter that he should be looking towards 154. But then again, let's see if these fighters are gonna want to fight Bud. Let's see.
No, I think they absolutely. I think Jerron Boots Ennis was. Come on, man. He's been waiting for the
so
winner of this fight.
I hope so,
and
man.
I said, you know what? Those guys are gonna be tied up with each other. Boots, go find another route. Go find another route to greatness, or move up with them to 154.
Yeah,
because Boots is another dude who's gonna be busting out the seams quick.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I think that let's see what happens. I think the rematch is going to be exercised.
Okay.
But the weight has to be agreed upon. I think it's going to be a catch weight because I don't think Crawford just beat him at the weight that they always been fighting. Well, at welterweight, which they both been there for years. He beat him. It's not Crawford's fault what the situation was with Errol, what he did, what he didn't do. Could he make the weight? Could he not? He came in there trained, strong, fast. Did what he had to do. So if I'm Terence Crawford, I'm like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? We could do it again, but it ain't gonna be at no 54 because I got 4 belts and I beat you for them.
Yeah.
Fair and square.
Yeah.
Under the boxing rule, everything, no catch with him. So it'll be a little bit unfair to Terence Crawford to have him will come up to 54. But I think Terence, being that he beat him so easily, I think that he perhaps would, and he might just to say, you know what, that didn't matter. That it don't matter what weight I fight you.
Correct.
I could beat you.
Correct.
But at the same time, if you're smart from a business perspective, you say, you do 152.
But you gotta pay me extra.
We could do 150 exactly. We do 151. I could go to 54, but how much? Y'all said 10? Nah, I want 16 million.
Yeah. He has the upper hand. So if Spence wants to do a catch weight, he's gonna have to come out of pocket. They're gonna have to pay Crawford more. But
Or you mean at 54?
Oh no, I mean
Either or.
even at 54. No, I think at 54 he don't have to, because I just think that they're gonna get paid. And this time, I think Crawford, being that he's the winner and the way he won beyond definitively. He got to get the bigger purse. It's that simple. That's what I feel. But look,
How
we
good? How good is? The people gonna want to know. There's
yeah
a lot of people that feel that Terrence Crawford is this makes him an all-time great.
yeah
Um, what's your opinion on where he is as far as how good is in your opinion
yeah
Terrence Crawford?
yeah. So first of all, let's take this into account, right? Spence is 33 years old. Crawford is 35. So them guys is they get in there. So that's why I think a rematch is important, because how many big paydays are gonna be for them, right? Um, but as far as where this puts Crawford, oh man, he's gonna go down as one of the greatest welterweights of all time. I mean, I'm not the greatest, of course, but one of the greatest, because no one's never done what he did, unifying four belts. We've done had a unified champion at 147, Zab, but that was three belts, four belts. Crawford is without a doubt, his ticket was already punched into the Hall of Fame, but this just solidifies it. There's no question mark. He's going to the Hall of Fame after what happened yesterday. I think he's a super great fighter. Again, every dog has their day. Not saying he's unbeatable. He can be beat. Again, but Crawford is gonna go down. He's already down in history. He's great. This puts him up there at 147 with the Ray Leonards, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. Man, he could have compete with any of those fighters I mentioned. Not saying he'll beat them, but he could compete with them. But again, that's something people would debate. But that's that. He's great, man. He's one of the greatest welterweights in history. And I'm definitely looking forward to see what's next for him, whether it's Spence or is Charlo after Canelo, whatever. So if he goes to 154, guys, and fights Charlo and beats him definitively, three undisputed divisions back to, oh my God. Now you gotta put him as one of the greatest fighters ever. Ever.
By accolades and things accomplished, yes. Now the Charlo fight, I think people, everybody, even myself, oh Charlo, we're quick to think about Charlo, right? We're quick to think about him, but shh, he got something to think about. And this motherfucker's going to, this guy's going to 168 to fight Canelo. So Charlo's out right now. He's out the picture, fam. So even if, remember, when you go up and win and come back down, will he be able to come back down to 54?
So I don't know if you saw the interview yesterday. They had him. They interviewed him on the broadcast. He was there. I don't know. He had the all red on. They interviewed him. They were speaking to him. Brian Custer was speaking with him. And they was talking about the Canelo fight and his preparation. He said, "I'm not done at 154." He made it clear. He said, "I'm not done at 154." So hence that's the reason why I mentioned that. So to me, but we don't know what's going to happen after the fight. He could set that yesterday and then say, yo, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to go back down there. I'm going to stay up here.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight to fluctuate.
Yeah, I agree. But this is...
Then he might be another Errol Spence. If that's the case, if he does that, that's...
And then the same, if that's the case, then that's his fault. Because me as a fighter, because you're gonna get the bag with Canelo. So if you go back to drain yourself to fight a Crawford, then you stupid. Then you stupid. If you know what? If I'm not gonna be at my 100% fighting Crawford at this weight, then I'm not gonna fight him, bro. And then we're back to square one. Oh, he just came from 168. Of course he's gonna be. Nah, I don't want to hear that. Then he should have never taken the fight. He doesn't have to, because he's gonna get a bigger bag fighting Canelo than Crawford. So
I agree, but remember, at the end of the day, what do you do for work? No, you got your job. Let's not say what you do.
I'm a stripper.
Let's not say what you do. But why do you do that job? I'm gonna ask you a question. Why do you do it?
Because I do it to get paid.
All right. So at the end of the day, we could say that. We could be like, yo, nah, you stupid. If you do, then this is the fight business, right? That's what these guys do for a living. So Sean, we also got to think about, all right, maybe he could fight Canelo at 168, and he could fight, I don't know, just Zoo, and they gonna give him $6 million to fight Zoo.
Yeah.
But to fight Terrence, he looking at 10.
Easily.
So
easily.
Right. So what's he gonna do? He gonna take the 10. And that's another thing that we also got to think about. We can say it's their fault, which it is. At the end of the day, they make the decision. But at the end of the day, you got a family to feed, right?
Yes.
These guys got a family to feed. So people are gonna go look. For one, they have to go to Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure they was like, we can do it in the U.S., but you're gonna get paid this much.
More, yeah.
Right? And then they said, if you get to come to Japan, then you're gonna get a
bigger bag.
Bro, when it said, salute to him, man. Y'all niggas, you criticizing Fulton, he went over there to get the bag. Anyway, this has been another video of the Boxing Roundtable. Catch y'all next time.
1.